Moinuddin Chishti was born in 1141 and died in 1236 CE. Also known as Gharīb Nawāz, Benefactor of the Poor, he is the most famous saint of the Chishti Order of Sufism of the Indian subcontinent. Moinuddin Chishti introduced and established the order in the subcontinent. The initial spiritual chain or silsila of the Chishti order in India, comprising Moinuddin Chishti, Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki, Fariduddin Ganjshakar and Nizamuddin Auliya, each successive person being the disciple of the previous, constitutes the great Sufi saints of Indian history. Early life and background: Moinuddin Chishti is not said to have been born in 536 AH/1141 CE in Chishti in Herat, Afghanistan. His parents died when he was 15 years old. He inherited a windmill and an orchard from his father. During his childhood, young Moinuddin was different from other children and kept himself busy in prayers and meditation. Legend has it that once when he was watering his plants, a revered Sufi, Ibrahim Kunduz the name deriving from his birthplace, Kunduz in Afghanistan came to his orchard. Young Moinuddin approached him and offered him some fruits. In return, Ibrahim Kunduz gave him a piece of bread and asked him to eat it. The Khwa got enlightened and found himself in a strange world after eating the bread. After this he disposed of his property and other belongings and distributed the money to the poor. He renounced the world and left for Bukhara in search of knowledge and higher education. He became the murid disciple of Usman Haruni. Journeys: Moinuddin Chishti visited the seminaries of Samarkand and Bukhara and acquired religious learning from the eminent scholars of his age. He visited nearly all the great centers of Muslim culture, and acquainted himself with almost every important trend in Muslim religious life in the Middle Ages. He became a disciple of the Chishti saint Usman Haruni. They traveled the Middle East extensively together, including visits to Mecca and Medina. Journey to India: Moinuddin Chishti turned towards India, reputedly after a dream in which Prophet Muhammad blessed him to do so. After a brief stay at Lahore, he reached Ajmer along with Mu'izz al-Din Muhammad, and settled down there. In Ajmer, he attracted a substantial following, acquiring a great deal of respect amongst the residents of the city. Moinuddin Chishti promoted understanding between Muslims and non-Muslims, establishing the Chishti order in South Asia. The Chishti order was founded by Abu Ishaq Shami in Chisht some 95 miles east of Herat in present-day western Afghanistan. Moinuddin Chishti established the order in India, in the city of Ajmer in North India. Moinuddin Chishti apparently never wrote down his teachings in the form of a book, nor did his immediate disciples, but the central principles that became characteristics of the Chishti order in India are based on his teachings and practices. They lay stress on renunciation of material goods, strict regime of self-discipline and personal prayer, participation in Sama as a legitimate means to spiritual transformation, reliance on either cultivation or unsolicited offerings as means of basic subsistence, independence from rulers and the state, including rejection of monetary and land grants, generosity to others, particularly through sharing of food and wealth, and tolerance and respect for religious differences. He, in other words, interpreted religion in terms of human service and exhorted his disciples to develop river-like generosity, sun-like affection and earth-like hospitality. The highest form of devotion, according to him, was to redress the misery of those in distress to fulfill the needs of the helpless and to feed the hungry. It was during the reign of Akbar that Ajmer emerged as one of the most important centers of pilgrimage in India. The Mughal emperor undertook a journey on foot to Ajmer. The Akbarnama records that the emperor's interest in Ajmer first sparked when he heard some minstrels singing songs about the virtues of the wali who lay asleep in Ajmer. Moinuddin Chishti authored several books including Ana Slawyen and Dala Rifa, both of which deal with the Islamic code of living. Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki and Moinuddin Negari were Moinuddin Chishti's celebrated caliphs or successors, who continued to transmit the teachings of their master through their disciples, leading to the widespread proliferation of the Chishti order in India. Among to the first Buddha Bakhtiar Kaki's prominent disciples was Fariduddin Ganjshakar, whose dargah is at Pakpatan, Modern Pakistan. Fariduddin's most famous disciple was Nizamuddin Auliya, popularly referred to as Muhbib-e-Ilaha, God's beloved, whose dargah is located in South Delhi. Equally famous was his other disciple Ali Ahmedulladdin Saber, whose dargah is in Kalur Sharif. The Sabiri silsila is spread far and wide in India and Pakistan, and to this day devotees and their descendants add the title of Sabri to their names. From Delhi, disciples branched out to establish dargahs in several regions of South Asia, from Sindh in the west to Bengal in the east and the Deccan Plateau in the south. But from all the network of Chishti dargahs, the Ajmer dargah took on the special distinction of being the mother dargah of them all. Dargah Sharif. Main article: Dargah Sharif, the dargah of Chisti, known as Dargah Sharif or Ajmer Sharif, is an international WAKF, managed under the Dargah Khwaja Sir-backed, 1,955 feet of Government of India. The Dargah Committee, appointed by the government, manages donations, takes care of the maintenance of the shrine, and runs charitable institutions like dispensaries and guest houses for the devotees. The dargah, which is visited by Muslim pilgrims as well as Hindus and Sikhs, is a symbol of intercommunal harmony. In popular culture, his poetry in praise of Husayn ibn Ali is well known, especially the following verse: Shah asked Hussein, Badshah asked Hussein, ruler is Hussein, emperor is Hussein, Din asked Hussein, Dinpana asked Hussein, faith is Hussein, guardian of faith is Hussein, Sardad Nardad Das Dad asked Yazid, offered his head and not the hand to Yazid, Hakiki Bina Ila Ilaha asked Hussein. Indeed, Hussein is the foundation of the Shahada. The song Khwaja Mir Khwaja from the Hindi film Jador Akbar was inspired by the life and deeds of Moinuddin Chishti. Sufis of the Chishti Order. He had more than 1,000 khalifas and hundreds of thousands of disciples. Sufis of different orders became his disciples and took ijazah from him. Among the famous Sufis who trace their lineage to him are, Qutbuddin the first Buddha Bakhtiar Kaki, Fariduddin Mazangstram Nizamuddin Auliya, Hazrat Ahmedulladdin Saber Kalyari Amir Khusrau, Nazaruddin Chiradilovi, Muhammad Hussain Ijazadara Z Banda Nawaz, Ashraf Jahan Gawasimna, and or to the first Hussein Farna. Today, hundreds of thousands of people are Euro-Muslims, Hindus and others, from the Indian subcontinent, and from other parts of the world assemble at his tomb on the occasion of his spiritual lineage. Al currency Arsan al-Bor to the first pound Ra, Abdul Wayyid bin Zayd Abel Fual, Fual al-Ibn Ya'ab bin Maz Angstrom D bin Bishr al-Tama Ma, Ibrahim bin Adam, a currency at Haifa al-Marasha, Ahmad N Abu, a currency Urbera al-Bor to the first pound Ra, Mumshur D Dar Nwara, start of the Chishti Order, Ajulis Haq Shami Chisti Qadis Allah Euro Surahu, Abu Muhammad Abdul Chishti Qadis Allah Euro Surahu, Abu Muhammad bin Abi Ahmed Chishti Qadis Allah Euro Surahu, Abba Yasuf bin Samara N Allah currency Usana, Morda D Chishta, Shara F Zondana, Uthma N Harana, Muinuddin Haji Sharif Zandani Qadis Allah Euro Surahu, Qutbuddin Yusuf Chisti Qadis Allah Euro Surahu, Moinuddin Chishti. Others buried in the Maqbara enclosure. The famous Mughal generals Sheikh Mahmud and Shah Nawaz Khan were buried in the enclosure of Moinuddin Chishti's Maqbara after they died in the Battle of Duri in 1659. Shah Nawaz Khan was the Emperor Aurangzeb's father-in-law. See also. References, official website of Dargah, Ajmer. External links, media related to Moinuddin Chishti at Wikimedia Commons.